Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the RC Air Experience, episode 32. Thank you, Anthony. Or 23, one of the two. I'm not sure, depending on how you're looking at it. We've got John from Two Brothers RC here today with us as our special guest. Of course, Anthony from FPV Builds is here, and I'm Jonathan from the lighter side of RC. This is a little confusing for us because we have John and John. And so we're going to refer to me as the lighter side just to keep things easy, because Anthony was talking to us before we started. And anytime you said John, we're like both, yep, what's up?
Are you sure you don't want to do Highlander rules?
Yeah. Welcome, John. Thank you for joining us on the podcast. It's appreciated. I just want to touch on your so I guess before I touch on your stuff that you do, is there more than just you, or is it just you?
It's me and my wife. So when we got started, 4 years ago at this point, it was my brother-in-law, Tony. And it became quickly a job, and he didn't want to do a job. And I don't blame him. It's a lot of work. I mean, you guys are in YouTube as well. You know how much effort it is to do anything in this content, like this work that we do. So he decided he'd rather spend more time with his wife and, you know, his new kid and whatnot. And I don't blame him. But my kids are all grown up for the most part, so it's no big deal. I don't look like it, but I have like an 18-year-old and a 12-year-old for the most part. So it's like, yeah, it's easy for me to find the time to go out and fly these days.
Nice. Awesome.
But yeah, my wife does all the filming and she does cutting so that I know what to use when we put together the videos. And I do all the voiceover, script writing, flying, and setup, and all the other crazy crap. It's a lot of work.
It is, for sure. So I wanted to touch on your YouTube channel. You're at 165,000 subscribers, 884 videos. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Instagram, 325,000 followers. And,
for some reason.
It's pretty wild. So it's cool stuff. Obviously, you've had some good success with that, and it's you got a lot of cool videos. So I congratulate you on that. It's awesome. It's neat to see. So, how long have you been doing the YouTube stuff?
So I'm one of those people that have had a YouTube account since like 2006. And when it started, it wasn't called TBRC. It was called, I think it was called Demon Lord 4, which is a reference to Ace Combat Zero, the Belkin War, which is one of the best PS2 games that ever came out. And
the Ace Combat series, I loved that.
Yeah, it's so good. It's such
Ace Combat 6. On the 360, I got the limited edition flight controller set up with the throttle and the stick. Amazing game. Like
why they call it the 360, right?
Why?
Because when you look at it, you do a 360 and walk away. But yeah, no. So it was, it used to be called Demon Lord 4 after the main character of the game that you play. Like eventually, you become so feared that you're known as the demon lord of the country you fight for. Which is a weird, I think it's probably like a Japanese translation thing from like Nihongo to English, which just sounds weird. They could have come up with a better name for it, but still it sounded cool. And I was like 21 at that point, 22. Yeah. So like, my stupid self, I'm trying to avoid swearing. My stupid self here is thinking, well, this is a cool name, I'm going to use that. So I used to record videos of me flying in Ace Combat. They're still on the channel, I just have them hidden. After that, it turned into a bicycling channel, believe it or not, because I used to bike to work and wasn't making a whole lot of money, and I could not afford to buy another vehicle. But we lived 6 miles from my office, so I could bike in and out. And once people started threatening to kill me on the road with their car, or I've seriously gotten into altercations. It's insane the amount of hate you get for riding a bike on a public road. I was like, all right, I got to start wearing a GoPro to document this because I have to submit this stuff to the cops. One of the vids from that is still on the channel. It's called Bicycle Rage Oviedo Police. And you'll see me like 10 years ago. I'm riding back home from the office, and this cop pulls me over. And he's like, if I remember correctly, exactly what he said, it was, you need to either get on the sidewalk or get off the road or get on the edge. And I'm like, I straight up told him, like, Florida Statute 316 says I can take this lane as long as it's not wide enough for you to share it with me side by side. You need to give me like at least 3 feet of clearance. So like, I'm a huge cyclist. I can hear and talk about road safety all damn day. But the point is, it went semi-viral, got picked up by WFTV in Orlando. I got interviewed, and I will never forget what I told them, where it was like, I don't think it's too much to ask that the people in charge of enforcing the law would actually know what the law they're enforcing is. Like, that's just like a basic requirement. The dude didn't even know the law. So he's like trying to tell me to do something that he doesn't even know what he's talking about. So they ended up retraining him. They told him, like, I didn't want them to fire him or anything. I'm just like, just tell him how to, like, what the law is, and then get off my case so I can freaking go home on my little bike.
Teach the cop the law.
Yeah. But one of my favorite comments that's still up is somebody said I talked a cop into rage quitting a conversation because, like, dude, he sped off the second I told him I've been doing this for 12,000 miles, and he's telling me he didn't want me to get run over. He just like slammed the accelerator and just tore off.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, just relax, man. It's not that big of a deal.
That is
After that, yeah, we got into model aviation late 2020. I started working for Epic Games here in Cary, North Carolina. Don't work for them anymore. We got caught in that big layoff wave a few years back. 25% of the company got laid off, I think it was. But working for Epic got me out of Florida and got me enough of money to actually afford getting into this hobby. As we all know, it's not inexpensive at all.
Yeah.
And basically, here I was thinking like, oh, cool. What if I take a GoPro and attach it to a plane and fly it around in circles set to chill synthwave music? Wouldn't that be as interesting to watch as Brian Phillips or any of these other people on YouTube? Yeah, no, it's not. Nobody watches that. So that's kind of where we got our start. Then my brother-in-law kind of helped with the filming, and he got fed up with it. And then my wife took over, and it's become a husband and wife project for the past 3 years now.
Cool, man.
So it's a lot of fun to like, work together with somebody you really care about and produce something that you both believe in and can try to do the best you can. I mean, we're not always going to hit everything out of the park, but I'm pretty happy with the quality of what we've managed to do just as two people.
Oh, absolutely. And me and John get that, right? Our wives are both involved in our lives as well, with the business and hobby and everything too. So it's yeah.
Well, for me, it's even more amusing because, like, what's the typical club experience when you go there? It's like a bunch of dudes that are like sitting there complaining about their wife and talking about how they want to be home drinking beer and whatnot. And it's like, and that's not all of them, but it's stereotypes, right?
Yeah.
And I'm over here with my wife, and we're hanging out, and we're actually like working together because we love each other and we want to support one another.
Right.
And she, like, dude, my brother-in-law is really good at filming, but my wife is on another level. Like, the camera that we use is funny enough, gyro-stabilized. It has the gimbal moves around as you move the camera, so you could be Michael J. Fox and you can still have no problem controlling it. But
just for reference, what camera are you using? Do you know the name of it?
Yeah, it's the Sony AX53. When I picked it up, it cost about $1,000, and we shoot exclusively in 1080p instead of 4K. And we shoot.
Do you up-res it?
No, not at all. The image quality you see is exactly what comes out of the camera. The only thing I do is just some color grading. Just like I don't like the way everything looks exactly the way it is in reality. Sometimes I give it a little bit more saturation. Sometimes I make the blues pop more so the sky is more visible against the plane. Just little stuff like that, but no outright fabrication like changing red to green or something. It's just enhancing the contrast, basically.
Very cool.
But yeah, we also shoot at 120 frames. One of the secrets of IR, so when you slow it down to 60 frames, it gives like model aircraft that illusion of scale. Yeah, which unfortunately leads to angry people going in the comments who they insist on telling you exactly what it is in the video. They're like, they'll leave comments like RC or it's a toy airplane. Like, no, you couldn't tell by the name of the channel. Like, seriously, like you couldn't see Two Brothers radio control and put together in your head that this is a model aircraft. Genius observation you've made there. Sorry, I'm a little frustrated with those comments. They're funny, but it's like at this point, it's like, dude, like how many people go around just saying like,
don't you have better things to do in your life?
Yeah, I question that all the time.
If you don't like it, don't comment or just scroll away or whatever.
I don't understand that. I never understand that. That's one thing that, and even like in like groups, like I'm pretty active in Facebook and a bunch of the Facebook groups and stuff, and it's like you'll see people just go out of their way to just negatively comment on something. Yeah. It's like, is your life really that boring that you have like? Why even say anything? Just move on. Like, just go.
Yeah. I used to be super active on Facebook. I was like one of those people that would perpetually post stuff and be like, oh, look at this cool stuff I did. And then it started in with like, somebody would ask, like, I remember how my like rant against gyro haters began. Yeah. It was when people were like, I didn't know any better. I didn't know there was like this big stigma with certain people against like flight computers, right? Which is essentially what a gyro is, a very basic flight computer. And somebody would ask when I thought it was an innocent question, they're like, oh, do you have a gyro in it? And it doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter how well you fly. It doesn't matter anything that you've done. It automatically invalidates everything they've seen in the video.
Yeah.
And for a while there, I would argue with them because it's like, I'm still don't have anything better to do with my time. I'm editing and, working from home. So I'm going to alt tab out and argue with randos on the internet for no reason and accomplish literally nothing with my time except for self-satisfaction. But I'll give you a great example. The other day, you ever seen the twin 80 millimeter MiG-29 from Freewing?
Mm-hmm. So
buddy of mine, I would consider to be the absolute master of that jet. Really good friend of mine named Alejandro. He runs the channel Air Guardian / RC Forever. He does some of the most insane flying I've ever seen anybody do with a jet. I mean, he was actually one of the inspirations for how I fly. And one thing and he's also an aeronautical engineer. So I've learned a lot about how airplanes fly by talking to him and bouncing ideas off of him. And I became very familiar with the idea of stalling your vertical stabilizers when you're in a high alpha pass. And trust me, this all comes to a head in a second. So when you're holding the plane up like this and your little tail is sticking up out of the back of it, camera's right there. If that airflow coming off of the wing isn't still hitting the vertical tails, what'll happen is the plane will start to slide in one direction or in another. And if you're too low, you're going to crash. You can't recover from it in time because the sliding will cause it to drop into the ground, even because you won't have any rudder authority at all. And there's no vertical authority to keep it tracking straight. So with the MiG, even Alejandro told me straight up in one of our chats, he's like, I've never tried what you did with it, which was I'm flying this thing at a 45 to 50 degree high alpha pass right above the ground. And you make any mistake and it'll crash. And the only reason it can do that is because I gyro stabilized the hell out of it. From the control surfaces to the thrust vectoring. And I'm not ashamed to say that. You can't react fast enough to stop it from crashing in that maneuver because it's always trying to kill itself. It doesn't want to do it. It's not physically possible. And you can't react at 5.5 milliseconds. So I posted on Facebook the other day in the motion group and I made straight up just baited some of these dudes. I'm like, if, what was it I said? Let me pull it up real quick because it's great. Let's see here. React it to where's your video? There it is. So I said, here's another edition of Gyro Bad, Just Fly the Plane. Good luck doing this without gyro stabilization or blah, blah, blah. Yes, I know there's more to it than that, but if the ill-informed who think gyros are bad can reduce everything down to cheap sound bites like, learn to fly the plane, gyros suck, then you can do it too. Dude, straight up, can I stream it? I can show you guys what I was talking about.
I don't know if you can share your screen. You might be able to.
I think it says, let me pull up a video before I stream it, just so I don't make a complete.
But I don't think that maneuver it's still incredibly hard. So I don't think you using a gyro takes anything away from the maneuver.
So it's like high alpha itself isn't the hardest maneuver. It's only when it starts getting to the point where it stalls the authority of the plane to fly straight level.
Right.
That's when it starts becoming a problem. So let's see here. It says present is an option.
Try it. I've never had, this will be a first. I've never had anybody try to present or share screen.
Let's see here. Your entire screen, screen one, share. Is that working?
Oh, it is. I could add it to the stage. Yep.
Oh, cool.
So this is fully gyro stabilized. It is 40 millimeters behind the CG marks.
Wow.
It is in tail heavy territory. If you try flying it sans gyro, you will have the ride of your life. It's going to be like the aviation equivalent of one of those what are those things called? Like the horses you can mechanical bull. The only time I've ever done that was actually at the Epic Games Fortnite booth back in GDC 2018. And man, I got about 15 seconds on that thing before it threw me off. So
and this is the video that you posted on that Facebook group.
Yes.
For the group,
I think this is the exact clip right here.
Nice.
And you can see me, I'm constantly pushing the stabs down because it's always trying to nose up to vertical.
Yeah.
But it gets even more insane. Let's skip forward.
I love the scheme of that plane.
Yeah, I do too. I'm not really a big fan of Russia, but I have to admit that's a really
it's a gorgeous looking plane. It really is.
And you can see me working the rudders the entire time. That gyro's not doing that. So I mean, sometimes I'll bait people and show them stuff like this and just watch them argue endlessly about it. But it's I don't get why people get so mad about stuff like this. I thought the point of flying was to have fun and see what these airplanes can do.
What gyro are you using in that? What?
I am a 100% Horizon shill in this regard. I'm not apologetic in the slightest. I will not apologize for it. AS3X Plus
Okay.
has been the best gyro I've ever used, and that's what I use there.
Okay.
The reason being is that I can program it all from my transmitter, and it understands intuitively what wing and tail type that I've chosen, and then I can program in auxiliary surfaces like the flight thrust vectoring, and I have the thrust vectoring stabilized not only in roll, not only in pitch, but also in yaw. Like it is literally unstallable so long as you've got thrust, like enough thrust going through the tubes. Like you can't overcome the fact that if you've only got a little twitch of throttle on it, that it's just going to drop like a rock. But if you've got a moderate amount of thrust applied to it, it's going to continue flying no matter what you do. Or go into a tree.
See, but you're kind of using gyros to push your performance envelope. You're not using your gyro like a typical person who's just using a gyro to kind of fly. Like there's a lot of people who need the gyro just to be able to fly, sort of, kind of.
Well, not exactly. So my ethos has been to try to do what the full-scale jets and aircraft can do and beyond that. Right. So when you have an F-16, for example, if you balance an F-16 in model scale the way they balance in full scale, it's not the design of the plane itself that makes it unstable. It's the center of gravity that's a big part of it.
Okay.
And when your center of gravity is so far aft on the wing that even a slight touch of the stick will cause it to go into a cobra instantly, that is what I would consider like you can't fly that. You cannot fly that as a human being. You do not have the reaction time necessary. Like back to traffic safety real quick, just to kind of make a comparison for reaction times. Like if you get into a wreck, the cops usually use, and I think the justice system uses about, I think it's like 220 milliseconds is the average human reaction time. Some people are less, some people are more, but the average reaction time is about 220 milliseconds. That sounds like a lot of time, and it is. But think about it this way: the flight computers on these full-scale jets, they are working at like 5 milliseconds or less in some cases. And with AS3X Plus, you can actually stabilize digital servos down to 5.5 milliseconds. It is a massive difference in the sticks. So like for example, like the F-1690 version 2 from Freewing, I have flown that without a gyro, just turning it off in flight to get a feel of it. It's like this in the sky. It's like every little movement you introduce creates another oscillation that you have to try to overcorrect for. And not even try to overcorrect. You automatically do it because your reaction time is so slow compared to what the jet is capable of doing that you're always behind it. So it's always going to porpoise. There's nothing you can do. So yeah, the way I set up stuff, I set it up so it has to be flown with a gyro most of the time because it doesn't feel any different when you introduce artificial stability that you lose when you're not flying with positive, like nose heavy stability is, what you would call it, I guess, for most people.
Right.
So when you make it artificially stable, all you're doing is making the plane humanly capable of flying, right? You're not like, I'm not sitting there flying around in safe mode. Otherwise you can't fly like this.
Right.
But I think like for some of these dudes, it might be like a case of FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. Like I never learned how to do this and I want to learn how to do it, but I don't know how. And instead of like swallowing their pride and just saying, hey, how do I do this? Or realizing that maybe it'll take some work or whatever, the usual reaction to some of these people is just like, oh, well, you suck. And here's why you suck. It's like, okay.
You suck, gyros suck. You guys can't fly planes.
Yeah, exactly. And Mr. Lighter Side, I don't want to say John because there can be only one, but I guarantee you the stuff that you fly, that big stuff, you're not flying that without a gyro. Right?
Oh, no, 100%. And it's funny, to expand on what you're saying a little bit, we have this technology. Why wouldn't we use it? About 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, when we got into the jetty side of things, and a fellow that I build a lot for now, he kind of introduced me to the jetty side of things. So when we're landing these big planes, the way we set them up is we've got different gyro gains in flight modes. So for example, in landing flight mode, our gyro gain almost doubles. And we also have airspeed sensors in every plane as well too. So, it's really transformed a lot of these turbine aircraft because you're not just having to watch them land and try and figure out magically how fast they're going. You actually have your radio saying you're doing 70 miles an hour every 2 or 3 seconds, right? So as long as you keep it at 70 miles an hour, you know that you're fine and you're in your landing pass. And it's just, it's such a game changer. Why not use it, right?
So I love that you mentioned that you increase your gains for landing, because that's me automatically every time. I'm not afraid of it at all. And let me rephrase, that's a terrible way of putting it. Hey, come back here. I'm still talking.
Sorry, I'm turning my other phone off.
Oh, you're good, man. You're good. So I'm not ashamed, is a better way to put it. I'm not ashamed to admit that I turn up the gyro gains when I land. Almost anything from warbirds to like jets to timbers. Even it doesn't matter. It flies better when the gyro is correcting for any minuscule deviation. That if you try to correct for it, you introduce pilot-induced oscillation.
Yeah.
So yeah, these airplanes are expensive enough that, like, do I want to bring them home safe? Yeah, 100% I do. And if that makes me a bad pilot for some reason because I have airplanes that aren't busted and you're full of busted foam for whatever reason, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'll pull up something else for you. We did
But let me play devil's advocate real quick.
No.
Is there a limit to like new flyers relying on the gyros, or should they learn a little bit more without the gyro?
So here's my thought on that. I think anybody getting into aviation is good. I think I don't care how you fly, as long as you're having fun and you're not putting people at risk. If you're not crashing your airplane into people, I don't care if you're flying with safe. I don't care if you're flying with any other term for auto level technology you want to call it.
Right.
The only thing I care about is that you're experiencing the joy of flight and the camaraderie of flying with other people who enjoy the same thing that you enjoy.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that matters to me. Now, if certain people get offended by that idea where it's like, oh, you have to be flying it, like, so here's a great example. We've had people who come in, like, I'm not even joking. The F-16 90mm version 2 video, we made a 1-year review on it. I beat the crap out of that thing. Like, the whole process started with coming into land, and I was rushing myself because I was trying to get out of the way before somebody took off. I grabbed the right edge. What am I even explaining this for? I can just show you. you have to, like, I grabbed the right edge of the runway.
I will say, while you pull that up, to Horizon's credit, them coming out with safe and AS3X and allowing new people to get in and be able to fly, it really has changed the beginner part of the hobby. It really, I mean, it's
100%. And like, okay, I'm almost at it. Like, I've got so many video files, dude, like thousands of these damn things. Here it is right here. So let's see here, video file. But no, I'm not going to share a video file. I have to share my screen. That's what I have to do. Share screen, entire screen,
video file.
Screen one.
This isn't an R-rated show, all right? This is
hey. Airplanes Gone Wild, F-18. So that's
a good channel name. Airplanes Gone Wild.
Yeah.
So this is me rushing a landing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay. And this is actually in our crash reel coming up on December 6th. It gets worse than this, though. Let's see here. And that is somebody else flying by. Hold on a sec. Here we are. I think this is where I do an accelerated stall into the ground. Yep.
That's a nice little runway you guys got there.
Oh, yeah. No, it is. And like, we had a reason why we were talking about this, and I need to remember what it was. I have ADHD, if that isn't obvious. So, like, feel free to remind me while I'm showing you these guys. this
new pilot gyros.
New pilot gyros. There's more to it than that. I can't remember what it was. God, I'm horrible with this, but
it's okay.
Wait. Okay. Yeah. So
I'm enjoying watching the crash, and that's what it looks like when I fly.
I was trying to fly it back again. Like, I had a smaller F-16 where it hit the ground, and I was able to take back off again. That plane's a little too heavy for that. So. We were talking about landing and not being afraid to showcase, like, what the gyro gains look like when you're landing and whatnot. So let me get a good example of that. The SR-71 we flew yesterday. I even recorded myself playing my guitar. It does look like a guitar, doesn't it?
Looks like the top fin's got a little damage on them. What happened there?
No, it's actually should be in perfect condition.
Oh, it's the white stripe. All right.
Yeah.
From the top, it looks like it was like damaged.
So this is extensively gyro controlled. I'm balancing about 20 millimeters behind the marks with this plane. And I don't believe in flying at the CG marks with almost anything. This is one plane that almost made me change my perspective on that. But when I bring this thing into land, 100%, I I absolutely turn the gains up because, yeah, I mean, I don't have, so I use what's called throttle based gains. It's a little system I developed where it's like a curved mix where
Mhm.
the first point is 0 on a scale of 1 to negative 100. So it's like 50% gain. The midpoint of the throttle is negative 20, and the max point of the throttle is negative 50. So it reduces the gains as you go faster. We don't have access with Spectrum yet to all that crazy turbine stuff that you guys have yet. I'm pushing for it. I'm trying to get them to listen to me and give me like an angle of attack sensor and a pitot tube sensor and let me wire all that data in so I can have it.
Yeah.
So when I come to bring this thing into land, I 100% always throw the gains to full and try to get a really nice looking approach. And I think this is probably one of the better landings I pulled off with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it's like, I still had to fly that. And if I didn't know the
yeah.
right throttle setting, if I didn't know the right angle of attack, if I didn't know the right approach to take, how high I needed to be, the airspeed at which I needed to come in, that's all stuff that you have to learn over time. You can't just, it's not as simple as, what do you call it? It's not as simple as just like the gyro does it for you.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't. It doesn't, like my wife told me straight up, this is one way I never even thought about it. It doesn't know where the trees are.
Mhm.
It doesn't know where the ground is.
Right.
And it doesn't know what your angle of attack is. So if you stall a plane that's as extensively modified as mine are with the throws that I mean, if you've ever seen the throws that I use, they're insane. Most people think that my high rates are like, when I show that to them, they're like, you got to be kidding me. Like I go for like, if camera, if this is everybody's high rates, mine are like this.
Yeah. You can
Like,
see on your F-16 video as well, too, the amount of rate you had.
Yeah, it's like I don't fly like that all the time. Like I only use that to break airflow over the wings.
Yeah.
So like if I want to do a Cobra maneuver and I want to make that thing not climb, so it actually goes like this rather than all the way up, you have to judge the airspeed appropriately, and you also have to make sure you don't overspeed it and rip the damn stabs off.
Absolutely.
But like, what was I trying to get at here? The F-16 is a great example because the first way it crashed was back in, I think it was February, and I got into a flat spin intentionally. The problem is because the gyro doesn't know what your angle of attack is, and it doesn't know what you're telling it to do. It's just trying to maintain the last thing it was told to do.
Yeah.
It tried to maintain that flat spin, and I couldn't get it out of it. So I didn't think fast enough to just disable it and throttle out. I was full throttle and it would not come out of that spin. And it ended up smacking into the ground from like 150 feet in the air. Flew right again afterward. It went right back up. I'm not even joking. Very, very well built airplane.
So I'm kind of baffled by something. So you said you started flying in 2020 or before that?
I've had experience with aviation all my life. So I got started with flying simulators back in Windows 95 with FS 95. So I'm 41, if that helps. You know, I'm on that cusp of being like an elder millennial, I think they call us now. But yeah, I've been around airplanes all my life. I've always loved aviation. So I grew up playing like, arcade flying games. I grew up playing flight
but actual RC flying is what?
The only experience I have of model aviation prior to this was flying the Radio Shack F-22 twin, God, I don't even know, like twin prop plane. Those mounted on the edges of the wings. I think I went through like 8 of those things because I used to get a 30% discount working there. But it was the dinkiest piece of crap. It was not fun to fly at all. And before that, my mom was one of those people who thought that giving a gas plane to like a 3-year-old was a brilliant idea. I remember that I hit a tree with it and it turned into a fireball, but like somebody called me out and said, "Oh, they don't do that." And I'm like, it was flying with gasoline back then, back in the 87 or whenever this happened.
Oh, wow.
Like I remember seeing a fireball, whether that's a fake memory or not, I don't know. I can't tell you. I just remember what I remember. But she's always tried to get me into like rocketry and model aviation. So that's one of those things I'm thankful for, that like I got that experience when I was younger that made me want to do it. Just couldn't afford to, because like hell, back in the 90s it was prohibitively expensive.
Very expensive.
People think today is bad. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Well, your knowledge too, that you talk about that friend that you have that you learned a lot from. Obviously, that's quite helpful too. Like I think back to when I first started flying, which was 2008. Started off with helicopters for about a year, 2 years. Figured I'd get into flying airplanes, and I knew nothing about airplanes at all. Right? I knew that if they went forward, it would keep flying. So that was my theory behind it. And I had a little extra 300 that Horizon hobby made or whatever, and crashed it a bunch of times, just high speed stalled it and everything. But it was good. I learned a ton, but I think when you learn all that stuff, that's very helpful as well too.
Yeah.
That's something I try to pass on to people.
Mhm.
I'm one of those people who firmly believes that knowledge is useless if you're not going to share it with other people.
Yeah.
So whenever I learn something, I try to share that with people and let them know, hey, like, for example, you mentioned that you didn't know that airplanes fly based on aerodynamics. You just knew that they fly because they go fast.
Yeah.
And I honestly do believe that is a good chunk of the model aviating populace, is that a lot of people don't know how they work. They just know that the basic principle of it is that as long as it's moving forward in the air, it's flying, which is, to be fair, that's actually most of it. That is most of it. The problem is when you don't understand the relationship between bank angle and stall speed or angle of attack, or if you don't even know what angle of attack is, a lot of the stuff is what gets people. And this is why, like, I've tried so hard for years now to try to educate people on why stalls happen, how to avoid getting into them to begin with, and if you do get into them, to avoid dropping a Tootsie Roll in your boxers on the recovery. This is one of the reasons also why I tell people, it's like, okay, when they ask me, what should I get? First off, I have way too many affiliate programs for me to feel comfortable recommending anything to anybody because because even if it comes from a good place, like, hey, I know this is going to be something you'd like. You always get those underhanded comments from people who are like, oh, they're looking to tear you down. Like, oh, you're just saying that because you make money from it. Like, dude, I get like $20 per airplane sale. It takes way more work than you think. And it's not worth like, if it wasn't for guys like you and the people that watch us, we wouldn't be doing this. It's not for the money. There's not a whole lot of money in this. No. But like, more to the point, like, so when people ask me, what do I want? What should I get? I always tell them the Viper 70 from E-flite or FMS. I mean, it's the same airplane, right? Because it's not one of those planes that's so easy to fly that anybody with no experience can do it. Because if you're trying to get better at flying, you need something that's going to challenge you. An E-flite Habu is a good plane to fly if you just want to fly a Habu, because it's going to teach you to fly a Habu, because it introduces a lot of bad habits to newer pilots where it's like, it's not a bad plane. I'm not bashing Horizon. All I'm saying is that if you learn to fly a Habu, you've learned to fly a Habu. You haven't learned to fly anything else, because Habu don't fly like bigger jets. They don't stall. They don't. Like, you can hold the elevator and you can just put around with the throttle and they'll just sit there and happily flying like at like 8 miles an hour. It's the dumbest thing. But the problem is, if you try doing that with a Viper jet, it's going to be like this, bam, right in the ground. And that stall behavior is something that a lot of people, if they don't understand it, like, they immediately assume that something failed in the plane. And because they don't understand aerodynamics enough to understand what happened to them, they assume that, like, well, it can't be me. It must be the airplane's defective. That's part of what we saw with the F-14 64 millimeter. Like, which is funny because, like, when people call you shill or call us a shill for like, I straight up, I'm not even joking. Somebody called me a shill for Motion RC, the company most famously known for never sending me anything. Who tells me to pound sand every time I ask them because the airplanes sell themselves. And I'm like, look, I'm out here, I'm going to bat for the F-14, a plane. The only time I make money on that plane is when you watch the video on it. I don't make any money for referring sales to them or anything. So when I'm out here telling you that it's not a bad plane, you just need to learn how to fly it with a flatter approach. It shifted from, oh, you're a shill, to, oh, you just think you're better than everybody else. Like, no, dude, I don't think I'm better than everybody else. In fact, I tell people not to worship my feet. I'm just the dude that flies toy airplanes. I'm not better than anybody. Like, I just know what I'm talking about sometimes. And in this particular case, the fact that I can land it and you can't says that the way you're doing it is probably wrong. So it's like, all you need to do is learn the relationship between speed, angle of attack, and approach. That's all you have to do, and you're fine. But if you insist that the plane has nothing, like, is defective, you're never going to learn. You're never going to improve. And if that's your goal, then I don't know what to tell you, because it's like, you can't go into this thinking you know everything. It's just like, I tried doing that in the beginning. I have, in this room behind me, I have 5 timber rudders as proof of what happens when you think you know everything. So, like, I keep those as a reminder to myself of how dumb, like, not dumb, but rather how, like, ignorant I was.
So when you do a review, or when you get your hands on a new plane, you're not just doing the typical looking at the quality. You're going over like the actual like aerodynamics of it. Like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah, I try to tell people exactly what to expect when you get something. Like, could I be one of those channels that just like makes like a 6-minute video or an 8-minute video where I fly at the Maiden and I just talk about how awesome it is and you should go buy it for my links? I could be.
Right.
I used to be like that. And then over time, I got enough shill accusations where it was like, all right, so maybe they do have a grain of truth here. Maybe I am just saying the stuff's amazing because it was sent to me. So we switched up to a new format as of about a year and a half ago where I don't even talk on camera anymore unless there's a reason to.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote up a 25-point system for each class of airframe. So 64 millimeter jets, 70 millimeters, 80s, 90s, the stuff that people commonly fly. I mean, as much as I'd love to fly the big stuff you've got, John, I can't afford it. Which should tell you enough that, like, YouTube doesn't pay the bills to
Yeah, exactly.
I wish I could. I really would love to fly some turbines, but I the cost of the benefit ratio is way out of my league. So like we came up with a system where you go over the maneuverability of every plane, whether they're prone to stalling or whether or in the case of warbirds, if you can fly them without a gyro. I turn them off and I fly them for a bit without a gyro, warbirds again, to make sure that they can be flown as scale as possible, because you can't fly. It's one of the times where I'll actually agree with the gyro people. It's like, if you're flying a warbird with a gyro, you're not flying at scale to the type of airplane. But then there's a part of me, it's like, I don't care. I just want it to fly better. And we check for, whether it's prone to accelerated stalls, because like I've flown planes that come out of the box. You try to maneuver them as you would anything else, and it starts dropping a wing on you. And that's nerve wracking, man.
Yeah.
We check for whether, when you get into a stall, whether it's something you can get out of easily, where you don't have to be like a whiz on the sticks to understand. Like, you should easily, like in my opinion, and what I'm looking for with that metric is you should be able to throttle out, and that's all you should have to do. Because if you have to remember which direction to throw the rudder and pushing the nose down toward the ground and then hoping you'll pull up in time, that's not something every average pilot can do. A lot of those guys are already hands full mentally with just keeping the plane in the air. You add that extra mental load of like, okay, now I have to remember how to recover from a stall in a 3-axis way, like with these 2 sticks and cross them or whatever I got to do. Yeah, that thing's dead. I've seen it happen plenty of times. Like, we check for that. We check for flight time. So like the jets have a different flight time category that we're looking for than props and warbirds, right? Like jets, because of the nature of a jet, EDF jets are just very power intensive. So we're looking for 2, 3, 4, and 5 minutes. 5 minutes being the best. With props and warbirds, we're looking for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes plus. To be fair to both of them. And you go into like fit and finish, looking for the quality of the paint, looking for the quality of the foam, making sure it's not dynam, that kind of stuff. Checking the servos, making sure they're not putting, sorry, making sure they're not putting plastic servos into like something that should be metal, that kind of stuff. And then it doesn't mean that the thing's bad. Like I've had planes like I don't even want to name it because I don't want to get sued. The company in question really hates my guts, but they had a big swing wing jet, and I made a kerfuffle posting it twice.
I was wondering if you were going to touch on this.
I'm not going to touch on it.
No, it's probably not a great idea.
Yeah, not a great idea. But you know what I'm talking about. And that's one of the lowest rated jets that I've ever posted. It had like a 17 out of 25 because it just came with all sorts of problems that didn't, like, originally when I made the first vid, it was all our gut feeling score. And then I went back to it and ran it through our metric system. And instead of it being an 8.5 out of 10, I can't even remember what it would have been out of 25, but it definitely was 17, which is not horrible, but it was on the lower end of what we do.
Yeah.
So like,
the crazy thing about that whole situation is the company that makes it,
be careful,
isn't the company that sells it. And it's just that whole situation is nuts. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
You're just going to leave it alone.
It's better left unsaid.
But while you're touching on this, so then we ask everybody, and you've flown, I mean, how many planes do you think you've flown in the last, at least 200 planes?
Types of planes or
just different models?
God, at least 150.
Right. So what everybody kind of has, like, if you were just to go out and fly for fun, what would be the plane that you would just go out and grab and just for not YouTube, not just John's gonna go out and enjoy his day?
So
what would you grab?
Do you want an actual answer to that, or do you want the real answer I'm going to have to give you?
No, actual answer.
The actual answer is nothing, because I don't get to fly for fun. I'm serious.
All
I'm
right.
dead serious.
So the real answer. I
So-
know it's hard.
Okay, in an ideal world, if I had the time to go out and fly for myself, which I unfortunately just don't have time for it with our video editing schedule, I work like 40 hours a week on making videos, whether we're traveling to fly or I'm at home editing stuff. I have to sit in this chair and I voice over and script write and edit, and it's a daily routine at this point. It takes up so much of my time.
I don't think people actually so you can tell the difference between your videos and somebody else who's just doing, no real editing. Like your videos are polished. Like you can tell a lot of time goes into your videos.
Let's not look at it though like those are bad. That's just a different
No,
style.
they're not. It's just a different format. But what I'm saying is like you're editing, even like I always think like, and when you're talking and you hear like your voiceover part, like I think you should be like on radio. You have like one of those commercial radio voices, right?
Radio announcer voice.
You like my radio announcer voice, do you?
Yeah, so like you could definitely do something. I could see you doing something like that because you have that kind of voice. But
well, Mama always said that Johnny Boy has a face built for radio. So.
But you do. But you can tell.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate the compliment.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think people really understand how much time goes into one of your videos. I mean,
so sorry about cutting you off, but just to like get to what you meant, like if I had the time to actually go out and fly, and I'm looking to take another day job at some point to where I could scale back YouTube and work more doing stuff that I do I'm a support lead and a community manager by trade. So I'm the kind of person who handles like angry artists who work with game tools and VFX tools. I've been doing this for 10 years. I love what I do, but it just, my day job currently is a bit of it's awesome. I love the people I work with. We actually, the tool that we make was featured, like the terrain that was made in Top Gun Maverick when they're chasing each other through the canyon. That was done with the tool we make in my office, at least partially anyway. And I took a pay cut to work where I do now. So like YouTube became very important because we need the money. But if I can find another day job in the gaming VFX space, I'm going to step back and go to probably bi-weekly or monthly uploads just for my own sanity. But that would open up the ability to fly for myself again, as if I'm not out riding my bike, I can actually go to the lake and fly stuff. So to answer your question, what would I actually fly if I had the time to do it? Probably one of the Timbers. I just love Timbers. They're stupid fun. You can do almost anything with them. Like the people that got me into hovering planes were the tail heavy guys. And I didn't know at one point that you could hover planes. I didn't know you could do it with a Timber even back in like 2021. So I'm like watching these dudes hover Timbers and making them torque roll in all sorts of random places. And it's like, man, I want to do that. And that's another reason why I have 5 Timber rudders behind me in this room.
I got to reach out to them and get them on. I think they would be a good time to have on as well.
Yeah, I'm sure they would probably find some time for you.
Yeah. Your perspective is actually different than what I was expecting you to say, because most people who do YouTube, their dream is to do more YouTube and step away from the day job. And you're kind of like the backwards of that.
No, the amount of video editing that I do, it's a very low paying job for the amount of hours we put into it.
Right.
We might make like, well, it's gone up recently, but we might make like between my wife and I $5 an hour doing this. It's really bad, but is it necessary to pay our bills currently? Yeah. And the people that contribute through our memberships, like, cause we use Fourth Wall for our merchandise shop, which a couple people here and there buy like a shirt or something, which, I don't make any money off it. I price them right above what they cost to make just so people can have something cool. They want it. I don't want to gouge on money, but we do have a membership program where people can pay monthly or in like an annual installment of like, I don't know, $50 a year or $200 a year or like $25 a month, whatever they want to contribute. And it helps me get planes from companies like Motion RC, who I don't even mention them on the channel anymore. Not because I don't like them, but because they've made it rock solid clear that we aren't going to do any work with you. We're not going to send anything to you. We're not going to make it possible for you to demo our products. So in my point of view, it's like, why should I mention you on my channel? Like you're just a distributor for Freewing. I have nothing against you, but if we're just going to be business only, then I'm not going to give you any publicity. I'm not going to mention you by name. You're not going to, I'm so petty. Every one of my recent links, I will spite people just for the sake of it. If you mess with me, I'm going to mess with you. Right. That's probably one of my worst character flaws. And they, when they made it clear, like, okay, yeah, we expect you, if you want to demonstrate these free wing products to help us sell stuff, we expect you to pay for these planes full price and then send us all the sale. Like, whereas Horizon, FMS, Buddy RC, and even Anthony here will send airplanes out to people who, whoever they determine needs to have them sent to based on whatever metrics they're working with, and they will make it easier to make that content, because the amount of content and work it takes, it's thousands of dollars to produce.
I've kind of scaled back, so I kind of am only working with a couple of people, and
didn't mean you throw it into the bus there.
No, it's okay, because I think it's important, because when I first met you, or when we first started talking, which was about a year ago now at this point, a little over, we've actually kind of become somewhat quasi friends. We talk here and there. You were one of the first people that, like, you were like, hey, I want to review this if I have to pay for it or whatever, and I appreciated that. There was another guy who did that, who I've become kind of friends with, which is Adam from Model Aviator. He was
really solid guy.
Yeah, he didn't ask for a free plane, he didn't ask for a discount. He was like, hey, how do I buy this plane? And that was kind of your approach in the beginning as well. And then I was like, hey, you know what? Like, I'll work with you. Let's make this happen. And we're a smaller store, and I get a bunch of emails, and I don't base it off of channel size or anything like that. It's just like, I get emails all the time. Hey, send me a plane. It's like, like, it doesn't work like that. We can't just do that. Like,
yeah, I would straight up tell people, if you want to fly model airplanes, fly model airplanes. Don't start a YouTube channel. It's like, I like how you're automatically agreeing with me, because you know what I'm talking about. The amount of work it takes, like, either fly or make content, but don't try to do both, because you're going to run out of time. If you're trying to make content at the scale that, like, you're doing it over there, John, or the stuff we're doing, it takes up all your time, and it becomes a job. And whether you can enjoy that depends on how much you enjoy flying. If you really love flying as much as I do, where it's like this, it's such an integral part of who I am as a person. I have to be able to, like, at least metaphorically, spread my wings and just soar and see what these things can do, and like live through. Like, maybe I can't be in the plane, but I can at least be the one controlling it and see what it's capable of with my skills, and however good or bad people think they are. But I need to be able to do that as a person. It's just something that I have to do. Like, I can't give it anything less. But like, I have accepted that to do this and to show other people what these planes can do, and let them know, hey, am I wasting my money, or am I getting what I want from this? That I have to give up that part where I could just go out and buzz around in the evening and have fun. The last time I went to go fly off camera, I can't even remember. It's been over a year, well over a year.
Wow.
I would say probably the last time I went out and flew with nobody there filming me, and nobody else, no expectations, no deadlines, no anything, probably was. And I'm getting a little, like, emotional talking about it, so my voice is cracking, because it actually bugs me thinking about it, because it's like, we're not just having fun all the time. Like, people think, like, oh, you just sit here and have a fun with all these planes. You're just collecting them, and you get to enjoy them, and you get to fly them all the time. No, dude, they sit up in my hangar up there, or on the wall behind me here. Let's see here, wrong side. So they hang on the wall there behind me.
Oh, your camera just got way brighter.
Oh yeah, it'll decide to autocorrect itself in a second. But basically, what ends up happening is, like, they sit on the wall. Yeah, it's really bright, isn't it? Let's turn this down. There we go. So pretty much, like, they sit on the wall for 363 days plus of the year.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes they don't even come out. There's some planes I've had up there, like, once you make 1 or 2 vids on YouTube, the diminishing returns kick in. Nobody wants to watch it anymore. So, like,
Wow.
I can't justify making a vid on, like, the Arrows Bigfoot again, because the Arrows Bigfoot doesn't pull in views. And we consciously decided that we would rather make better content that people want to watch, so that would drive most of our revenue coming from ads on YouTube, rather than having to say, subscribe to our channel, buy from our links, support my family, that kind of stuff. I have a job. I don't need people to pay for my family. I can do that myself.
Right.
But if you watch our content, you like what it is, and it's interesting to you, then, that ad revenue that you give us helps support what we do. So, like, I tried to make that the turning point for us, which would be to make the channel self-sustaining through YouTube ads. And it is, until, the newest free ring release comes out, and it's like, they want $700 plus for like a 64 millimeter or something. And it's like, that's when we had to ask people, like, hey, do you want to help us show these things to you? Like, it may cost you $5, $10, $15 a month, but then you get this, like, if you don't like it, at least you got to see what it can do, and you didn't have to buy it to find out.
Right. Yeah, no, dude, I completely get where you're coming from, because I've been feeling exactly the same way that you feel about it actually is heartbreaking, because like I love being able to go out and fly, and between the day job, the kids, the store, same reason I don't get content out. It's like there's only so many hours in a day, and the store takes a lot of our time, and then the full-time job takes up a lot of the time, and it's like I would love to go out and fly. I would love to I'm like yearning to just go out and fly for a day. Like I just want to load up a van and just go fly for a day. And
it's like soul healing, isn't
hard
it?
to do.
It just makes you feel better to go out and do something that you want to do. But like,
it's just like you're not doing it for fun. Like I was thinking about it the other day. It's like, I did this because I've loved this hobby my entire life. And it's like, I'm not having fun right now. Like, and I do like going to like some of the events. So, my last event, the last time I flew was September. And the last time I flew before that was a couple of months like before that. But like, I like going to the events because I get to fly at the events. It's like, oh, great. I get to go fly. Like,
well, I do have that coming up. I'm going to be down in Tampa and Orlando coming up. I'm actually from Florida. So I grew up in Apopka, Florida, which is down the street from the RCACF, if you've ever heard of it, the Remote Control Association of Central Florida.
Okay.
They have a big jet event they invited me to because they heard I was going to be in the area. And they told me straight up, like, oh yeah, we're gonna make it easy for you to show up and blah, blah. I'm like, please don't I'm not anybody unique or special or interesting. I'm just a normal dude that talks too much and has a stinky butt and everything else. It's like, it's the weirdest thing. Like, people will hero worship you just because you're on a screen.
Yeah.
And I've tried so hard to get people to not treat me like I'm a cult of personality. I'm not. I have a ton of character flaws. I'm not perfect remotely. I don't even fly all that great, in my opinion. I mean, I've had people
I don't know about that. I've seen you do some pretty spectacular stuff.
Okay, I'm not going to lie and say that I don't fly well, but I compare myself to the people that I'm trying to aspire to be better than. Like, when I go to Joe Nall and I look at the 3D line and I see those dudes doing like rifle rolls right above the ground, I can't do that. And to me, that means I just suck, I guess.
When is the event that you're going to?
It's, what the heck was it? December 6th, I think. Yeah, I think it's December 6th.
Okay.
So it's happening like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, if I remember correctly.
Is that's in Tampa or that's in Miami?
No, it's in Apopka, Florida, surprisingly. Okay, so if Orlando's here, Apopka's right there. It's only like 20 miles away. That's where I grew up. So like RCACF was the field that I knew when I was a kid. I just never had the money to fly there. Or the AMA membership that I could afford. And every time I tried to go fly my little Radio Shack F-22, they'd be like, you can't fly that here unless you got AMA, brother. So I'm like, dude, it's a little dinky plane. Do I really need insurance to fly a dinky plane that can't hurt anybody? Yes, you do, brother. Okay. But that's another subject for another story. But,
love it.
Yeah. Tampa, I went to college in Tampa. And so it's like my old stomping ground. But we have like a 3,500 member Discord server, and there's like 3 or 4 people that are in Tampa that want me to come visit them. So I'm staying the night in this crappy Days Inn or something for like $50 and going to swing by their field, and we're going to go and hopefully get some decent content. I don't know.
So you manage the Discord server. So you have the YouTube channel, the Instagram channel, which the Instagram channel, I'm sure you get a ton of messages on. You have 300 subscribers. TikTok, and then you manage the Discord as well, or you have a moderator for that?
No, I do. Well, I have moderators. They help out, but I do the primary load of the work. I organize a server. I keep people engaged and talk. Like I said, I'm a community manager by trade, so this is just normal for me.
Right.
But
it's still very time consuming.
It is. That's the other part people don't see. Like, they think that like just because you have all these planes, you must be going out and having fun all the time on their dime. It's like, no, dude. Like, once I film the content, like, so Horizon sent over the P-51 1500 millimeter, the blue one. Amazing plane. I have flown the FMS 800 millimeter. I've flown the 1450 recently, and I've flown the FMS 1700, and not a single one of those flew like a Mustang. And when I say flies like a Mustang, I'm talking about the thrust that I'm expecting from a fighter plane, not this dinky little thing that goes like 50 miles an hour. And like, I don't care about speed. What I want is the perception of speed. I want it to feel like it's going fast. I'm not going to go out there with a radar gun or put a GPS thing into it and try to measure it, because it doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is, can I make it do what I want it to do? So when I'm flying the the 800 or the 1400 or the 1700 and it's struggling to climb, that sucks. And I don't like it. But that 1500, holy crap, that is the first time I've ever flown a Mustang that felt like I was flying a Mustang. I'm throwing it into crazy tumbles. It's doing the best half loops I've ever seen a plane do. That's a prop. That's
6S?
Yeah. That not the best prop that's ever done it, but the best warbird that I've flown that does it. Just nuts. And even though Horizon sent it to me, once I finish the content shooting, it just stays on the wall for the next year. I probably won't be able to fly it again. It's not like I'm just going to go out and have fun with it all the time.
Right.
As much as I wish I could, because like there's so much stuff that I have. I wish I could, like the J10 from Freewing. I made that thing do the most nutball things. I would fly that every day if I could, but I can't, and it sucks.
How did you? I know you're very well, not anti-motion, but your relationship isn't great. But how was the SR-71?
So to clarify, Motion made it very clear that there's no harm, no foul on either part. I have nothing against them. They have nothing against me. I was just told that the planes sell themselves. So I'm like, okay, well, if they sell themselves, then oh yeah, that's what I meant to say. Then obviously there won't be a problem with a bit.ly link in my description that just goes to Google. So you can find it when you're looking for it. So like it says bit.ly F16 90mm version 2, but it just goes to google.com. Well, good luck selling itself if you can find it. Because like, look, I don't work for free, man, and this is a ton of work. So if you're going to expect me, I don't think they expect me. So this isn't me saying that they expect me, but if there is an expectation anywhere that I have to go out and buy these planes and then demonstrate them and get no compensation for the time, expertise, and work involved in setting them up and showcasing what they can do and providing the damn setup file pre-made so that you don't even have to do it yourself on our Discord server. Like, I don't think it's too much to ask that you just send me the damn plane and put it as a tax write-off. You know,
I don't disagree with you. I think you're at a different level only because you're probably, as far as viewership and everything else, you're probably, I don't know, in the top of the whole thing, right?
Which is weird to think about because like only a few years ago, I was the same. I was on the other side of the screen watching other people fly. I was watching
so with the amount, and I have nothing against motion. I love motion planes. I've been a fan of not motion planes, free wing planes.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Right. They were my go-to plane. I think with the size of your audience, you're advertising for them. I mean,
100%.
Right. Like
here,
bad or indifferent, you are providing a service for them. So I don't know.
I'll read you a comment. All I have to do is type into the YouTube filter.
But how did you like the SR-71? Because that's one of my all-time favorite planes, but I just can't see pulling the trigger on it.
Yeah. So I don't owe anything to anybody when it comes to free wing. So I will tell you straight up, if you want an SR-71, get it. It flies mostly like a Blackbird. It's just not fast. Which
is weird because you would think it would be fast.
Yeah, right. I mean, it feels relatively fast. The thing with the Blackbird is that it's on paper, I think it's only like maybe 30 or 40 miles an hour faster than a Timber is at full speed.
Okay.
Timber's top speed is like 80 miles an hour, and which is crazy. I'm talking about the 1.5 foam plane. The SR-71 tops out at like 120, I think. And again, I don't care about speed. To me, like when dudes go on Facebook and they post photos of a number, like, oh, I got 129 miles an hour. And then some other dude feels compelled to go in there and be like, I got 130 miles an hour. Like, dude, who cares? Did you make the plane do anything interesting? Did you do anything nobody else has done? That's what I'm trying to do a lot of the times. Like, I want to fly on the razor's edge of performance. I don't care about whether the plane hit arbitrary numbers in the sky because it's like, anybody can advance the left stick and go really fast. There's very little skill involved in that. So, which is odd because I think the Venn diagram between dudes that think gyros are bad and dudes that just use the stick as a switch is probably 1-to-1, right? It's like
we're gonna get so much. This video is gonna get so much hate. It's
great. So that's another thing you're gonna find out. I'm a very polarizing figure. And there's a cadre of dudes that follow around every time I go into a live stream or anytime I make an appearance anywhere, and they talk about how arrogant they think I am, and they talk about how I think I'm better than everybody else, even though I clearly have said many times that I don't think I'm better than anybody else, and in fact, I think I'm way worse than a lot of other people. So, and these dudes just hate me, and it's like it's cool, like I get it, like I probably hate myself too if I was talking to me, but you can't, like, one of the things I always tell people is it's like, when you've dealt with depression and anxiety most of your life, nothing that anybody can tell me is going to make them, or it's going to make me feel like they hate me any more than I hate myself. Like you can't hurt me. Like it's not going to bother me. So that's probably where some of this comes from. Oh, you think you're better? And like, no, dude, I hate myself more than you do. Like, like you're not going to bother me.
Yeah.
So this comment I pulled up about the planes selling themselves. So this dude was like, we're talking about the A10 64 millimeter version 3. Really, really cool plane. Comes with formation lights that I was able to finally figure out how to turn off, put them on a switch and everything so you can turn them on and off. And this dude's like, what is it he said? Said, I'll censor out the swearing. Motion really should be paying you. I would never consider paying their prices if not for your evaluation. Great flying, great eval, great video as always. So I said, between the two, this flies better than the F-14 64 because he was asking which one was better. It doesn't require anywhere near the skill to land either. Appreciate the kind words, but as we've been told repeatedly, the planes sell themselves. And he says, sell themselves. Despite my highly favorable impression of free-wing planes in general, out of my 6 EDF Warbirds, I don't own a single free-wing jet. That's 6 buying decisions that didn't go their way. Why am I considering the 2 free-wing planes I'm considering? Online reviews by trusted sources. A10 or 60 or F-14, I know exactly what I'm getting into based on trusted reviewers. Yeah. And like,
no, I don't 1000%. But so owning a store though, I'm not going to play devil's advocate. Well, maybe I will a little bit.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah. It's kind of, and I've talked to you about this before offline. It kind of opens up floodgates where like now you feel like, or if YouTubers talk to each other, hey, I got a plane from Motion, and then, well, why didn't they give me a plane? Or you get what I'm saying? So, and I think at the level you're at, there should be some sort of agreement. I 1000% agree with that. You're not talking about a channel that has 10,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And the quality of your videos is really good. You're grading everything fairly. You're not leaning one way or the other. So I think there should be either the plane should be on them or there should be some sort of affiliate link that pays you on the back end.
I agree for the most part, but I do lean one way very, very hard, and that's Spectrum. I'm 100% of a Spectrum shill. I'll tell you that straight up. But like, I don't think shill.
Okay. John loves Jetty, and John loves Jetty, and I'm an FR Sky guy. Like I won't. I actively try to get people out of their Spectrums. I have a Spectrum trade-in program, and it's actually fun. I've traded in my 40th Spectrum radio.
What am I doing on this podcast?
I have 2 of them right now that just came in for people who traded to FR Sky. So
you'll take my Spectrum out of my cold, dead fingers.
Oh God, I have a video coming out actually this week that's comparing the X20 RS to the iX14. You're not going to like it.
That's okay. I don't have to look at it.
It's easy. You have a choice to watch it or not.
Yeah, you just don't have to look at stuff that makes you angry. You don't have to look at stuff.
Like, and if you do, you have a choice not to comment. Okay,
yeah, exactly.
So if you don't like it, you don't have to comment.
Yeah.
Well, unless you're one of the perpetual butthurt brigade that follows me around everywhere. It's like, oh, I hate that guy. He thinks he knows everything. Okay, number 1, I don't know everything. Number 2, you don't have to watch me.
Yeah, radios are like cars. It's like you got the Ford guys, the Chevy guys, the Dodge guys. That's okay. There's
but radios don't kill 40,000 people a year. So
no. Well, depends on what field you're at, but you know. We've all seen those videos of the guys getting hit in the head with planes before.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true. What's that one that I remember? The P-38 that just bonged.
Oh my God, that video!
Guy standing right in the corner.
That poor guy.
Like, I don't know about you, man, but when I see an airplane coming at me, I get out of the way.
You duck. Somebody forgot to teach him how to duck. Anyways, we're right on time, John.
Yeah, but I want to keep going. I'm having fun. If you guys are cool with going, I wouldn't mind going for another half hour, but
another half hour. I can't do another half hour. I can do like another 15 minutes.
All right, fair enough.
So I was going to say too, like one thing that you guys have really commented on as well is the stress and everything that you've kind of brought up. It's interesting the difference between how I've got things organized compared to how both of you guys are a little bit different organized than each other. But yeah, I like Anthony, you comment all the time. You say, I'm busy, all that stuff like that. But yeah, I think there's a little bit more balance in what I do compared to like John, what you do.
I don't know I still tell you all the time, I don't know how the hell you do what you do.
Well, and that's why I want to
impressed.
That's why I want to bring it up too, because like for John as an example, so you want to put out let's say a series of videos on a new plane. Well, you might do the initial, I don't know if you do the unboxing or whatever, setup, the initial flights, maybe a follow-up video. So your one plane gives you, let's say, 2 or 3 videos ish. I'm kind of guessing.
Yep.
We get a new jet that shows up, and that gives me 8, 9, 10, 15 videos, depending on how in depth it is. Right. So my content, I think, is a little bit easier to put together. And I mean, I think one thing that's freeing to what I do compared to what you guys do is, when I put a jet together, the amount that I charge to put that plane together for the customer is a substantial amount of money. Right. So it kind of changes things a little bit. I listening to this whole conversation has been very uplifting because I'm a lot less stressed than I think you guys are.
I had a shower.
He's rubbing our faces in it. He's like,
but I had a shower thought about what you do. I was like, you know what? Like, you ever had that when you're like taking a shower and just So I was like thinking, it's like, why can't I do what like Full Throttle RC does, where somebody pays me to set up a plane the way that you've seen stuff demoed, and I do all the receiver programming for you. I give you the setup file for it. I put in the servos that you want, and I set this thing up for the absolute maximum performance. And if you crash it, it's on you. I mean, I can't give you skill, but I can give you a plane that can fly to the limits of your skill and beyond. And there's actually a guy local to me. I think we're going to do a test run on this because he's one of those dudes that just doesn't have time to do this.
Yeah.
But he wants to fly. He's seen the stuff on my channel. He's like, I will pay you to set me up like an F-22 or whatever. Like, I set up my F-22 90mm from Freewing to like look like Mobius 1 from Ace Combat 4.
Nice.
And it's so cool looking. I love it. And I would be so sad if I ever destroyed it. But I have that damn plane. I go up and I can make it waterfall. Like, it'll just flip over itself. In fact, I'm not even doing this justice. If you guys don't mind, I'll stream the stupid stuff I was doing with it.
But John, I mean, lighter side. You still have a full-time day job, and you're still building plane. I mean, I don't know how you don't feel the pressure. Like,
I do.
I know you have a really good, and you've told me before, like, you have a really good system in place, and your time management is like really good. So I think that is where I think yours is more on like a set schedule, where like for me with the store, it's one day could be really slow, and then the next day we could have 20 orders, and I'm up until 2, 3 o'clock in the morning packaging stuff.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's like,
one thing I'm trying to do too is like, so the SU30 that's behind me, that's the Skymaster SU30. That's the second one that we built, and I wasn't going to do a video series on it, so I just finished the F14. The 14 videos are still coming out. I wasn't going to do anything with the SU30. I'm like, well, let me try a different type of video, kind of more of a Rammy RC type video, if you want to call it that. So basically, I've been taking these snippets, like 30 seconds, 1 minute snippets. So I ended up with 2 hours of footage, and I went in and I condensed everything down to like 10, 20, 30 second snippets, and then I voiced over the entire video. So it's actually going to end up the entire build of the SU is going to be, assembly of the SU is going to be in 2 videos. And it's going to be all voiced over, but basically start to finish in 2 videos. And it's actually, it's a little freeing for me because I can actually get that plane done in 2 weeks, 2 weekends, essentially, from start to finish. And it ends up with 2 videos, which is better than no videos. So, it's finding that balance, I think, too.
Right. Yeah. No, that's going to be cool. It's going to be cool to see that. It's a different format for you.
Mm-hmm, very.
Yeah.
So we were talking about Mobius here. The thing I was looking for. Am I streaming? There it goes. This is the kind of stuff that I would say.
Oh my God.
I get better than that. This is intentionally set up to be unstable. So like right here, this is what I'm talking about.
Oh my God.
Wow.
You see how like insane this thing can get? And this is not even
Which
pushing
one
it
is that? What F-22 is that?
90 millimeter with a
From-
custom.
from
It's using
Freewing?
high-tech free wing. It's using high-tech D85 MG servos throughout the entire airframe, unlike the stock, which is like really, really poor.
Yeah.
But this thing, like, it will literally backflip on itself within a dime, like that. And like you like the only way you can break this plane is if you're running a turbine on it, because
Is
you can
that
actually
ever cool?
overstress it. But you know, it looks like a toy compared to the stuff you're flying. But
Yeah.
even like the best stuff that I fly, like the SU-27 from FMS, which is kind of weird that I'm saying that it's the best stuff that I fly, but I modified that thing to be 50 millimeters behind the marks. Let me see if I can find the vid.
Wow.
We're sitting there chatting. It's insane how different that thing flies with a properly like set up fighter jet center of gravity. Here we are. Let's see. Here it is. So we were talking Sukhois, for example. This one's like a toy compared to the one you're building, right? But this one is also balanced significantly further aft than the recommended marks on this one. So I had to do so much work to get it to fly like a fighter. It like you can literally make this thing backflip within the length of its own fuselage. It will do a full cullet. It's without thrust vectoring. Like
An F-15. What is that? An F-15? Or SU?
SU-27. So should be able to do it here in just a second if I remember correctly. If this is the right vid, let's get to the point.
So
Yeah,
nozzles are fixed. Wow.
yeah, fixed nozzles, and it's just depending entirely on aerodynamics and huge throws. Like I put in much better servos to make the stabs basically give it all the authority I can get. I think I flat spin it here. Oh, Cobra. There we are. Kind of a crappy Cobra into a flat spin. Maybe. No, maybe not. It's been a while since I flew this. So I'm trying to remember what I was doing. Here we go. Another backflip.
There we go.
See what I mean? Yeah. Like when you can really feel the inertia of the plane, that's what I'm looking to do. And like, again, this is another one where if you turn the gyro off, it's tail heavy town. Like you can't control it. It's insane. It's like, this is everything you see here is about 8 hours worth of work to carve out enough foam to shift the, like, instead of putting the battery all the way up in the nose where FMS put it, I put it all the way in the back where the air brake is.
I'm going to be honest. I'm kind of worried about sending you one of those 3D printed kits.
Oh no, I'll keep it alive.
Like the thing's going to obliterate in the air. He's going to try to do like a backwards Cobra or something. It's going to be a bunch of parts in the air.
Yeah, but the nice thing too is that it actually makes it land much better.
Yeah.
As well, because the CG is where it's supposed to be for the full scale jet. So the plan form actually lends itself so well to coming in and approaching, and you should be able to get like a super floaty landing, which that's not even the best one, but I had one where it came down and it was like just kissing the ground. It was nuts how slow it was. I just don't want to waste our time trying to find it.
So on that landing there, you were pushing forward elevator. Is that just to keep the nose down? Is that how tail heavy it is?
Yeah. Yeah, even with the gyro on it, even with the huge gain, I think I had like 95% gain on the pitch.
Wow.
And you still have to feed in forward elevator as it slows down, because the slower it gets, the more it pitches up.
Yeah. Wow.
But that's how I want to fly it. And like, I have it set up with the gyro. You're familiar with priority. I know you have to be.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't, and they don't know what priority does. I set up mine to be like a very crude flight computer. So I have the gyro gains effective throughout the entire stick range, but not super effective. Just like when I give it full stick, I want it to do what I tell it to do, but I don't want it to be uncontrollable. Yeah. So I leave it at 100% stick priority. I have a high gains, and the gyro cannot keep up when you tell it to backflip. Nothing it can do can override it. It's impossible.
So on Spectrum, stick priority is a percentage?
So they do it in a weird way. They have 0 to 200. The higher the number, the less effectiveness it has. Yeah.
Yeah. Because so we use Cortex for pretty much everything. Cortex is just a number. So it's like, I think it's 0 to, I don't even know what the max is, maybe 25 or something. So 200 in Spectrum means that if you touch the stick, it disables the gyro in that axis. Yeah. If you're at 100, it has minimal effectiveness at the end of the stick, and if you're at 0, it has effectiveness no matter what you do. You could be full stick and it would still try to adjust itself. I've never flown with 0. It just seems really kind of a bad idea. I do tend to fly at 100,
The lowest I've ever gone was the SR-71 in pitch, and I set that to 80 because it just felt twitchy and it always felt like it was trying to kill itself. You've never seen a plane fly or fly. You've never seen a plane fly until you've stalled a blackbird intentionally. Like let me pull it up for you. Like you will. There's a vid where it took 14 seconds to get it out of a stall.
Whoa!
Wow.
I'm not even joking. It took me. Let me see if I can find it. It's actually on the channel, so I'll pull it up for you.
Were you panicking?
I love the fact that we can share screens. This is awesome.
Cool.
Love it.
Yeah, no, he's the first one to do this. This is cool.
Give you guys some more content to check out. So I talk about it on the tubes here. So I'm gonna go ahead and share, and then I'll just let my dumb voice take over entire screen.
I got it.
There we go.
Stage. There you go.
Jeez.
Full stick push down burst of throttle.
Turn myself down here.
Wow.
Yeah, you see how much I had to zoom in to show the position. So yesterday we went out and I filmed it and I did some of this intentionally so you could see my stick movements and how much work it takes to get out of a stall sometime. There should be a point where it shows us 14. Maybe it's like at the end of this. It's in here somewhere. Here it is, right here, stall timer. So check this out. This is I love this so much. The most anxious I've ever been flying a plane was when I did this.
Oh my God.
I'm trying to get it out of it so
Dude,
hard.
You had to be having a heart attack. It looks like some one dart into the ground.
13 seconds.
Yeah, it's coming down like a rock.
Yeah. Like, dude, by the time I recovered at the end, I think I was at tree level just about. Yeah, it was scary. Like,
and that's not a small plane, the lawn dart either. That's a
no. That the size of that thing compared to me, it's about as long as I am tall. I'm 6'4".
Yeah, it's a bigger foamy for sure. You know.
Yeah, it's
not
nuts.
a small plane.
Oh, weird. But now we have like a wide camera screen. Oh, there it goes. It shrunk.
Yeah, every time you share, I have to reset it.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's fine. I'm over here doing like the editing. Every time you go to share, I have to actually allow it and add it to the screen.
I would love to, like, I know we're getting ready to wrap up because we're getting into like the last 10 minutes of our extension here, but I hope this isn't like a one-off. I would love to come back.
No,
cool.
Absolutely. We'll have you back on. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
I'd love to. Where are you at, Mr. Vogt?
I am located in just south of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So we're just north of Montana.
Yeah, you're very, very far from here.
Very far north.
I was going to
He's
say,
always coming down though. Always coming down.
I would
love beginning of December, I'll be in Miami. So for a few days.
I would love to see one of your planes fly, man. Are you bringing one down?
No, it will be. So I'm going there with David, one of the fellows that I build for. So we're going there together. He's got, I think, 1 or 2 planes there that will be flying at the event. And but we go to Montana, to Texas, Tucson in beginning of the year. So a few different.
You were at Knoll last year, didn't you? You went to Knoll.
Yeah, went to Knoll last year. Yeah. We were only there for 1 day. So it was like we were there. We're at the event, left, and then flew out the next day. So it was pretty quick.
Was it during the week?
It was like so the event is a week long, I think. So we were there Friday and Saturday morning of the end of the event.
Okay, so you were there when I was there then.
Yeah. So the rain had stopped the day before we showed up. So
yeah, my first experience of Knoll 2024 was like nonstop rain, and then like nobody being allowed to fly because everything was too wet.
Yeah.
And then I think that day it was so windy. Like the vid I have on it, like I was like shooting dudes like flying their turbines, and like you could see the smoke just flying away like at high speed. I'm like, and you're flying in this? Y'all are insane.
Have you flown a turbine before, John?
I did. Actually last year, Ali Machinchi let me fly his little MB339. And he didn't let me finish the flight. Like when I tried to land it, I guess I was a little long because I'd never flown a turbine before. And he yoinked it out of me and landed himself. But I thought I did halfway decent for my first time ever flying a turbine.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people, when we were talking about gyros earlier, it was a lot of people have this fear that I find we've gotten lots of new people into lots of new people into turbines over the past few years while I've been doing this. And one of the things that we do is the buddy box thing, right? Like people have the stigma in their head, like, oh my gosh, this plane's going to be difficult to fly. It's going to be hard to control, et cetera, et cetera. And I'll do a buddy box with somebody on one of my planes. Doesn't really matter what it is. And they're just blown away at how well and accurate they fly, right?
Yeah.
So,
Funny enough, so I'm a big snake guy, and this does kind of like go in. I own 3 snakes. I've got 2 rat snakes, and I've got 1 ball python. Super docile snakes. In this year's null video, I saved a black rat snake from being killed. They were living in a tree, and one of them was climbing down to find some food. And there was a guy that was threatening to shoot them. I'm like, dude, it's a rat snake. Like they're not going to hurt you, and even if it was venomous, they're not going to come after you. They only attack if they're being messed with. So I picked it up and I put it back into the tree hole. And like people were like, oh my God, you picked up a snake. And I'm like, dude, do you think I would pick it up? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not going to pick something up that's going to hurt me.
yeah.
Do you think I would own 3 of them if they were that mean and vicious? It's the same with the plane. Like, why would I fly something that's not going to fly well, right?
Exactly.
It's like have some faith in the other
I
people.
hate snakes though. Snakes scare the hell out of me. So
you should come with me and I will let you hold one of my rat snakes and you'll see just how cuddly they are. They're actually complete opposite of what you've been led to believe.
I don't know if snake and cuddly goes in the same sentence, but I'll take your word on that. I'll definitely take your word on that for sure.
That'd be like my ball python is the cutest little thing. Like,
oh yeah, sounds like ball python. Yep, cuddly, no problem.
They're super cool.
Yeah. My puppy's cuddly. All right, ball pythons are not cuddly.
You've never had one wrap around your neck and give you hugs.
Yeah. Yep. As you're gasping for air. Yeah.
Yeah.
Allie's somebody we want to get on. And John, where's that show? The December show?
Miami Jets.
Miami Jets?
Yeah.
Just so everybody knows.
Yeah, I forget what the field's called, but it's the field with all the sawgrass around it. So depending on if they've cut it down or not, there's like a wall of 8 feet of sawgrass. So
I will John Two Brothers, I'll send you John Lighterside's information. You guys could have each other's contact information. I'll forward.
Yeah,
it.
we can keep in touch. I've always been impressed by your channel. I just have a hard time watching it and not feeling so jealous of what you get to work on. It's very difficult to watch because I'm like, I want to work with that. I want to play with these big things. I want to have fun with these toys. Mom, buy me a turbine.
You could put a small turbine on the pony.
Yeah.
You could start out with a small.
I'm sure I could, but did we miss the conversation where I said I can't afford this?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
but you must have done some serious. Like you mentioned that you had people like commissioning you to work on these, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much like most of the stuff you see on the channel. Like if I build 25 planes in a year, 23 of them or 22 of them are for other people.
Dude, that's the life right there. Getting to build stuff that you want and set it up the way you think it should be set up.
Yeah.
And
I mean, my list right now on the board there, I think there's 25 aircraft on the board and
that's
20 of them are turbine aircraft. There's a bunch of props in there now too, but
yeah,
wild.
That's kind of like
the prop planes are gorgeous though. Like the stuff he's building, the prop planes are just ridiculous too.
I'm definitely thinking of like maybe getting into that, like letting people know, like, hey, if you want these things built to the specs that I'm demonstrating on YouTube, like let me know, I'll do it for you. And
I don't know where you stand on the whole thing, but you said you have a ton of planes that you don't fly. I mean, to help the channel out, you could always sell the planes that are sitting around collecting dust.
We do every so often. It's just whether or not they'll sell is the question. Like, who wants to buy an Arrows Bigfoot? Not a whole lot of people. It's a little bush plane in a sea of bush planes. There's tons of bush planes. It's like, what makes an Arrows Bigfoot any different than a Cessna 150? Nothing. It's a Cessna 150.
Right.
It just has a different name. Can you resell a timber? Yeah, sometimes. But I try to keep this, like when we get stuff sent to us, I try to keep it as long as possible. And if I really like it, I don't get rid of it. A lot of times, like, could just point you at the convenient solutions that I've made in this room. But like, actually, I think I will.
Unless you like it and then you crash it into a bunch of trees.
Hey. So there's like my PA, what do you call that thing? Addiction on the wall. Yeah. There's a, what is that thing? Super decathlon, the FMS pits behind my head.
You like the biplanes?
They're cool. I don't know how much better I can. There we go. I'm trying to like think backward. The Arrows Husky on the wall, which is really pretty. The E-Flight D18, which you can kind of see right there. As soon as this thing decides it's going to focus. The UMX planes that I keep on the wall behind me, F-14, 64 millimeter, Viper 64. You wouldn't believe me if I told you, but I did make that Viper 64 do rolling Harriers for the upcoming 1 year review. I'm not joking. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, do you want me to show you? I'll show you. It's nuts. My freaking camera is not working right anymore. What
No,
is
now
that?
you're dark again.
Now you're dark again.
Oh, dude, I like when I got that Viper 64 to do rolling Harriers on camera, I just about like bled out like girlish screams of glee. I was just like, you gotta be kidding me. There's no way this thing is doing this. And sure enough, it was. But it was a big project. So I have an agreement with most of these companies that I demo stuff with, like implicit at least. Like in Horizon, it's specifically like they tell me we don't want you modifying anything until you've flown it at least once, and we would prefer that you show the mods in a 1 year review. And I think that's fair. Because it's like at that point, it's like you're not misrepresenting the product. It's already been out. You've already made the demo. You've already explained what it can do and what it can't do. Now a year later, I can be like, hey, I did this cool stuff. You can do what I did in this one, which is replace all of the servos with AGF B11s, which are like really, really fast and torquey at 6 volts. So let's get to the point here. There's a really there it is. Hold on, it gets better.
Wow.
This is actually a rolling Harrier circle with a Viper 64 right here.
64 millimeter, which typically they don't have the power to do that.
This one's actually relatively overpowered. And like
That's wild.
That is very wild. With a 64, that is very wild.
Oh yeah, I'm glad I moved because I just dropped the F-bomb on that one. So I think right here I put it into a straight line rolling Harrier, which I struggle with getting them to go in a straight line. So I was surprised I got it to. No, this is not the straight line, but it's close. Let's see, where is it at?
That is pretty wild.
Yeah, there it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. Anyway, you've seen what I'm talking about. Like,
did you fly the Hobby King 64?
No, they never sent that one out to me. For like, I feel like with Hobby King, like they do send stuff to me, but I always feel like I'm at the bottom of the list for some reason.
People tend to like that little jet. Like, it seems to be a popular little jet.
Yeah, I don't know if I maybe made Hobby King angry one time. There it is. There's the move I was talking about.
Wow.
And that's a tree level too, but it's so light. Like, you guys ever flown a Fun Cub before or know what I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
So this jet is the Fun Cub of EDF jets.
Huh.
And here's why. Like, check this out. Look at how slow this thing comes in. And you're not going to believe where it ends up landing. Or maybe you will. I don't know. If you guys have seen what I do, you may believe anything I tell you at this point. Look how slow this is real time.
Wow. Wow.
Right in my hands.
Wow. That's pretty.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, no,
that's pretty awesome.
Dude, it landed in my hands at like 5 miles an hour.
No,
yeah.
Awesome.
And not a hint of damage. Like, I've had people straight up, like, I showed them that at one point, like, oh, aren't you going to break the wing in half doing that? No, you're not. It's not heavy enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't know what I did to Hobby King, but sometimes it takes me a while. Like, I'll email them like, hey, can I get this release that you guys didn't tell me about that you're doing? And that's why I didn't get the extra NG until like a month after it came out and everybody else had it. And I didn't get the Super Tucano for 8 months after it came out. God, that's a good plane. If you ever fly the Super Tucano, any of you guys ever flown that one?
I have. It's a nice plane. It actually is a really nice plane.
It's so good.
It's got a lot of presence too. It's a big plane. It's nice. It's nice. They did a good job with that.
The weirdest thing is, and lighter side, you know who CNHL is, right? Yeah, they sell it now.
Oh, okay.
Which is the weirdest. Like, a battery company is selling a 1.7 meter Super Tucano.
Yeah, so
I don't get it, but I'm happy that they do it. I just don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. Like battery company selling airplanes.
So I can't do it.
You know something, don't you?
I do know something he can't say.
I can't.
Who says you can't say it?
I don't know if it's the right thing to do. I don't know if it's completely public information, but and I kind of have a small relationship with Hobby King. Like, I could sell more of their stuff if I wanted to. I just haven't really done that. And I do sell for Electron Hobby Line. There's an affiliation between the two. Let's just put that way. I'll just leave it at that.
implications I see.
Yeah, there's the cross company. I don't want to get in trouble, but yeah, that's
Smart
that's it.
move. Smart
Yeah.
move.
Very politically neutral answer. Well done.
Exactly. But that's why you're going to start seeing probably more stuff on the China Hobbyline site.
Hey, I mean, if it means that you can still get the planes, then I'm cool with it. I mean,
I've been flying China. See, people kind of rag on the China Hobbyline batteries. I've been flying their batteries for probably almost 10 years. I've really haven't had, like, I have some of their packs that are still older that aren't puffy. Like, my whole thing with battery care is like, first of all, a lot of people don't know this, but most lipos, there's like 3 main manufacturers of the actual stuff that goes into lipo batteries, like in the
Right.
world. Right? There isn't like 1,000 battery manufacturers. They come
Mhm.
all the main lipo stuff comes from 3 of these big main manufacturers. So most of the lipos have the same stuff in them, anyways. It all comes down to battery care. Like, I tell people that all the time. Like, you can buy these super expensive packs and you can kill them just as fast as you can kill a cheap pack if you abuse the batteries.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean,
right.
It's for me the ranking, and I'm an SMC shill all the way. But I'll tell you, for those of you who are watching and you're not a turbine owner and you're one of the battery operated peasants like the rest of us. I say that with love and care. I wish I could afford a turbine, but like they're just so expensive. But
yeah,
as far as batteries go, in terms of rankings, SMC batteries, they're objectively at the top. There's a dude on RC groups who ranks these things. People send him batteries. He runs them through the tests. Like, SMC dominates every single one of the rankings.
They are great batteries.
CNHL is right behind them. They're not.
So the thing with the CNHLs is you're not getting the absolute, but you're also not paying the price of an absolute crazy battery. So that's why. So like, you're getting basically what you pay for, and that's what we want, right? Like, I know I'm not buying a top tier battery, but I also know I'm not spending them. Like,
as long as you're not being snookered into buying that crap that they sell on Amazon, like HRB or Z or I mean, I'm not even trying to be mean when I say this, but like, these batteries, they suck. They objectively suck. There's like, people buy them because they're cheap and they don't know that they suck, because nobody's going out there and saying, well, my 100C or 10,000C battery is only capable of producing half of the battery's like actual capacity.
Right.
And like, the other thing people don't talk about is physics. You physically cannot push 100C of 6,000 milliamps through an EC5 connector. It's not possible.
Yeah.
You will melt a connector. The connector it melts at like 130 or something, 125 to 130 amps. Anything beyond that, like it's guaranteed failure. So like these batteries like HRB, Z, Ovonic, Yowu, all this stuff, it's just like the same company rebranding stuff, and they all have the same, like, they're the same pack basically. They all have the same quality. They may as well just be called high resistance battery. They cannot produce the thrust that the EDFs are asking for. You want to fly them in props, go for it. They'll be fine. But if you want to fly them like a jet to what a jet is capable of producing thrust wise, like, there's dudes in my Discord server. Why is my plane only producing 5 kilograms of thrust instead of the 20 I'm supposed to get, or some arbitrary number like that? And then they're like, well, I'm like, what battery are you using? I use HRB. I'm like, okay, put an SMC 5900 HV2 or a 5200 green lipo in it and watch what happens. Like, night and day difference. I shill the hell out of SMC because I bought like $1,000 of their stuff after I tried one battery, never went back. Danny's been sending me batteries for years now, and they are objectively the best on the market. Like,
they do make great batteries,
dude. When you take off, I fly with voltage telemetry, so I know exactly what my telemetry is at any point in time. When you take off with an EDF jet, like a 90, for example, on a Z pack, if you by the time you rotate, you're hearing callouts of 21 volts. When you rotate with an SMC 5900 or it doesn't even have to be HV, it can be a regular lipo, you're hearing callouts of 24 volts under load. 24 volts under load. That means you're getting a ton of thrust. Like, that's a massive difference in speed. That's a massive difference in overall thrust performance. And it keeps that, like, obviously you can't just like make energy out of nothing. So like, that does go down over time, but you keep the sag from happening anywhere near as hard. So by the end of the flight, I'm still pushing, where I'd be pushing 22 volts per cell. Somebody else is already hearing 19 volts under load.
Wow.
It's a massive difference. And like, I will never go back to anything less than that. I mean, CNHL is pretty close. I've used them for some of the like hovering I've done with jets. You ever hovered a jet, John?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure you have, because you got a turbine that makes it really easy. But like, but have you ever hovered an EDF jet?
No.
So before we wrap up, let me show you something cool that I did. And then we got to get going soon. But we're just having fun here, right?
Yeah, no, we do have to get going. I have to go beat the truck.
So the Freewing Aries just came out, and I did some stuff with that jet you're not really supposed to do. I took the landing gear out of it. Yeah, you'll see. So I pulled up here. I'm flying this on SMC 4-cell lipos. These are on, what is it?
Did you share it yet?
I'm getting there.
Okay. There you go.
So you can kind of have an idea of where this is going.
Oh yeah, I see the landing gears out. Over the water. Wow.
Nice.
I mean, this is on AS3X with the setup that I demoed. So, it's got a little bit of wing rock because the plane is so light and the motor's spinning so fast. This is on, I believe this was 5,200 4-cells from SMC. Like, look, this is insane.
That's cool.
And then the coup de grace is just fly it to me.
Nice.
The Aries looks a lot like an Avanti.
It's made by the same designer. So
Yeah.
the Seba dude that does Seb art, he came out with the Avanti. He came out with the Aries, a couple other planes he's done too. But yeah, they look very, very similar.
Yeah.
But I mean, straight up, at least in model form, like let me rephrase, foam form, I would say Aries is not as good of a jet as Avanti. For sport jet stuff. Avanti with thrust vectoring from FMS is the king of them all. As far as hovering and torque rolling and stuff goes, you can't beat that thing. It's insane. The Aries is just nuts. It's insane. I've never seen an EDF jet hover like that. I don't think I ever will after this either, unless they decide to come out with another one.
All right, so we're gonna wrap up, John.
Cool, that was fun.
Well, TBRC, we'll definitely have you on again.
I'd love to come back.
And lighter side, thank you as usual.
You bet. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate the time, guys.
Apparently, we're all jealous of what you do.
As we should be. I mean, we've earned a lot of notoriety.
Do you guys celebrate Thanksgiving in Canada? I think I've asked.
We had Thanksgiving beginning of end of October kind of thing. Our Thanksgiving's like a month before you guys.
Interesting. Well, everybody, we hope you have a good holiday. Thank you, and we'll talk soon.
Awesome. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Bye, guys.